So guys, another thing I'm going to go ahead and take care of while I'm cleaning up the whole engine bay is I'm going to clear coat the valve cover and these lifter covers as well. So if you've watched some of the updates of the 64 build, I did the same thing on there and it looked awesome. With this blue and the patina underneath it, it really shows up well. So I'm going to rip these things off and just get a real quick coat of nice 2K clear coat. So as I said before, we're going to be doing an automotive clear coat on the valve cover as well as the lifter cover. This is something I've done in the past. Like I said, I did this on my dad's 64 F100. It had some rust and, a couple of different layers of paint, and surprisingly the clear coat has held on really well. Now that motor's not running yet, so I don't know how well it'll last with the heat, but an automotive clear coat should withstand any heat that the top of the motor is going to see. So to get these things prepped, I just used a gray Scotch-Brite pad. That's a super light Scotch-Brite pad. It helps get in all the nooks and crannies, and just use some water to help keep everything cleaned up. All we need is to have a surface that the clear coat can stick to. With this clear coat, using the same clear coat I use for everything. It's a U-Pol universal clear coat. It's probably the cheapest stuff that the local paint shop had. As you can see here, I'm going over the entire surface. Right now I'm just spraying air out of the gun. This is the super cheap small cup air gun from Harbor Freight. And if you only press the trigger down halfway, only air comes out. So right here I'm just spraying air to get any dust off of the part. I shoot outside, so dust ends up landing on there. For shooting clear coat on patina, stuff like this, it's going to have a lot of texture, so you're going to want to shoot heavy. You don't want any runs or anything like that, but you want to put as much material down as you can to help smooth out any of the rough surfaces. So I'm putting on a pretty thick layer, and I think for these I shot 3 coats, and honestly I wouldn't mind coming back, scuffing the clear coat again and shooting it again just to flatten it out. Along with doing the valve cover and the lifter cover, I did the steering wheel. The steering wheel had a really nice patina on it, and I think it was worth preserving. And honestly, just having a nice smooth steering wheel to hold on to is really a good way to spruce up your the inside of your truck, and it feels nice to drive with. So I'm definitely planning on shooting another coat of clear on the steering wheel, and when I do that, I also plan to shoot the valve cover again, just because that's the main thing you see in the engine, and just have that clear coat as smooth as possible really sets it off. But this whole process is super easy. I know not everybody's going to have an air gun, an ability to shoot clear coat like this. You can buy 2K clear in a can. They're about $20 a can, but one will definitely last this project. In fact, you can do a couple projects, but they don't last very long. I think they last a day or two, so got to make sure you have enough use for one of those cans since they're so expensive. There she goes. So definitely a whole lot cleaner than before. Valve cover definitely sets this thing off, but I did go ahead and clean up some of the other stuff, the intake manifold and some of the lines and stuff. I do have wiring to run. I'm going to run the charging cables and everything down here, and I'm going to put the starter solenoid underneath the side of the battery box. That way it's kind of clean and tucked out of the way, and then run all my alternator cables there and the battery box right here. I still have to do the upper coolant lines. I think I'm going to do something kind of cool with the oil fill cap as well as the air cleaner, but we'll have to wait for that. But yeah, this actually turned out really good.